Child abuse versus discipline. What is child abuse?
It's when parents beat their children, I guess, in a non-helpful way. Like excessive beatings, like when you don't really deserve it.
Okay, when I think of child abuse, I think of excessiveness. Like if the child bleeds, that's too much. That's child abuse. If there's bruises, that's child abuse. You know?
I would say child abuse is a parent that has no control. A parent that is taking their anger out on their child. Pretty much.
Child abuse is harming a child in any physical or emotional way. Types of child abuse are physical abuse, which is hitting, pushing, pinching, shaking, and choking; emotional abuse, which is name calling, yelling, and negative comparisons; neglect, which is the failure to provide shelter, food, water, clothes, and medical care; sexual abuse, which is fondling, penetration, intercourse, prostitution, pornography, oral sex, or any forced sex. What is discipline?
Discipline is, I guess, hitting your child for a positive outcome, not because you're upset.
Discipline is reasonable. Discipline is popping, depending on what they do, popping them on the hand if they touching the plug on the outlet or something. Discipline is controlled. There we go.
Discipline to me is taking something away, being stern, making the child feel the punishment without feeling the punishment. You know, not without having to beat on them or anything. You can make a child feel their punishment, like take something away that they really like, or you might have to spank their little butt, but other than that, that's what it is.
Discipline is an act done to teach children right from wrong when they misbehave. Types of discipline: spankings, which are hits on the child's bottom with your hand or a belt; a timeout, removing a child from the things that they enjoy to a secluded part of a room; punishment, not allowing the child to play with certain things, watch TV, or even go to places that they will find enjoyable; popped on the hand, a simple swat on the hand with your hand. Discipline is occasional, which helps determine the difference between abuse and discipline. There is always a clear reason as to why the child is being disciplined. Knowing the difference between discipline and child abuse is very important, yet people still do not know the difference. When a parent disciplines their child, it is because they have behaved badly, and they must learn that not only what they did was wrong, but also why it's wrong. In order for this to work, the discipline for certain behaviors must be consistent so that the child knows the behavior will never be accepted. One of the most common types of discipline are spankings, also known as whoopings. However, some people believe that spankings are abuse, even though spanking is done out of love so that the child learns to behave. Spankings are a form of discipline, along with timeouts, punishments, and being popped on the hand. Were you disciplined as a child?
I was disciplined. I was hit when I was younger, and then when I got older, we just kind of started to talk things out.
What do you mean hit?
She, would hit me with the belt or
Like
with her hand.
a whooping or a spanking?
Yeah, no, like she never hit me in my face, but she tore my backside up.
Oh.
I was disciplined as a child, even though I was a very good child. But when I was disciplined, it was standing in the corner or getting spanked with a belt, depending on what I did. But that was pretty much it. Either standing in the corner or getting spanked with a belt, getting video games or TV time taken away, or not being able to go outside. It wasn't anything too extreme.
Yes, I was disciplined as a child. I was extremely disciplined as a child. How? Whichever way my whatever came to my father first. We've got hit with fists, we've got hit with bottles, we've got hit with 2x4s, we've got hit with shoes. Yeah, it was a little bit extreme with us growing up, and I guess that's why I don't do that to mine.
Do you think the method of discipline you received affected you in a negative or a positive way?
I think it affected me in a positive way because, like, I don't know, I was too afraid to do, like, bad things when I was younger, so I really didn't get in trouble that much.
Definitely a positive way because my parents did it right and they didn't beat me. They made sure I knew why I was getting in trouble, and they made sure it wasn't like excessive. They made it hurt, but not hurt too much. Hurt enough to get the point across. So it definitely was a positive thing.
Both. I think negatively because I was kind of shut down a lot. I kind of closed up a lot. I didn't really socialize too much growing up because I was always hiding the fact that I was, you know, an abused kid, or I didn't want people to get too close to me to find that out. And in a positive way because, again, I knew what not to do with my kids as far as going to that extreme and losing your temper and losing yourself to just physically hurt your children, my children.
Would you or do you spank your kids?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think kids that don't get spanked, they grow up thinking, you know, nothing really too bad is going to happen to them no matter what they do. You know, they don't grow up with that fear of doing something wrong because they're like, nothing's going to happen. So, oh yeah, I don't spank my kids.
I did. Not very often. They have gotten a few, but they've done something to truly deserve it. But again, they weren't spanked to the point where they couldn't sit down or they couldn't go to school or they had to wear long sleeves in the summertime to cover bruises. They actually laugh about the spankings they got growing up. But yes, they did get spanked.
The effectiveness of discipline varies depending on the family and how they go about it. Child discipline can easily turn into child abuse if not done properly. If done correctly, spankings can be just as effective as timeouts, punishments, or pops on the hand. Therefore, spankings should not be considered child abuse.